These entrepreneurs go to Alibaba's campus in Hangzhou in China for about 2 weeks, where they learn about digital trends and e-commerce opportunities that the digital economy brings.
So before, like our first panelist is Zarja, you're going to you're the first person to start off the conversation. And before you start off, I wanted to highlight that UNCTAD mandate is to ensure globalization of trade, and mostly for the global south, to ensure that it lifts billions of people from poverty by ensuring that not only big businesses, but also young people are involved in trade and investment. So my first question to you, Zarja, is what are the current programs that UNCTAD is running that young people can be able to leverage on, not only this time for COVID-19, but also at a post-COVID-19 world? So you could start off with that.
Of course, yes, as I wanted to say, UNCTAD puts a lot of effort in involving young people, but also young entrepreneurs in our work. So we have quite a few programs that are dedicated to, involving the youth and digital entrepreneurs and trade and development related matters. One that comes from the top of my head is the eFounders and the eFounders Fellowship Initiative that we have in partnership with Alibaba. And it's basically where this program covers the African countries and South Asian countries. So these entrepreneurs go to Alibaba's campus in Hangzhou in China for about 2 weeks, where they learn about digital trends and e-commerce opportunities that the digital economy brings. And we also do this, with a higher purpose, because apart from themselves benefiting from this program, we also expect them that when they come back home, they make a positive change in their society and in their communities. So whatever they learn, the key learnings that they take away from the program, they later share, with other people who, for example, wish to become entrepreneurs, and they share it with their local communities. For example, what are the best practices to digitize businesses. So we wanted to have a spillover effect, when entrepreneurs learn something and give back to the community. But this is just one of the several programs that UNCTAD is working on. Another one that we have, it's called Empretech. And this program is open to people of all ages and all genders. And it focuses especially on green entrepreneurship. And it has a little bit of a different approach to building entrepreneurial skills, because it focuses from the behavioral aspect of what a person needs to do or how they can, awaken their potential to become entrepreneurs. So this is a very versatile program. And then we have another one called E-Trade for Women, which, as the name suggests, it's dedicated to ambitious female entrepreneurs. And apart from that, I think I can also mention that each summer, UNCTAD organizes a summer school where, young people and young people who are playing with the idea of becoming digital entrepreneurs can join. And there they sit down and learn from policymakers and UN economists and other UN staff what are the challenges in their countries and how they as young people can help address them and tackle them through entrepreneurial activities. So these are the four main programs that we're working on right now. And then, of course, I wanted to share a little bit of information about the youth action hubs that we also have. But this is a program that is dedicated especially, to young people below 30 years old from all around the world. So I'm not sure if this answers the whole question, or are we going to continue later?
It does, but I wanted to focus more on the partnership that you guys have with Alibaba. And one of the interesting things when I was reading about this partnership is that the Secretary General of UNCTAD described the fellows from this particular partnership as as an impatient army of entrepreneurs that are going to ignite the digital revolution in Africa. So for the people that are joining us right now, the young people that are part of this particular conversation, how can they be part of that particular fellowship? Like, what are the steps for a person to be part of that particular program?
How to become participants of the eFounders Fellowship Program. Okay, so every couple of months, UNCTAD and Alibaba launch an application process. Beforehand, we always select, different, which regions, first of all, we are tackling. It's either Africa or Asia. And then we select which countries these entrepreneurs can come from. So we have just launched the class number 9. This is the 9th class that we will be organizing. But since COVID-19 struck, it probably won't happen in Hangzhou, but it will be, virtually. So one of the conditions for young people to join this program is that they have to be at least 18 years old, and they have to have an already established business that has been operating for at least 2 years. And then, of course, we are looking from which kind of industries they're coming. We are always looking to have more entrepreneurs, for example, from the big data sector, but then we also have entrepreneurs who are working in tourism, in fintech and e-commerce, and we're looking at these kind of sectors. And then, of course, the entrepreneurs have to show a sense of willingness that they will be contributing to society, but also that they're looking to address a problem they're seeing and find a solution to this problem through their businesses. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask one more question. You had an e-commerce week that happened currently virtually because of COVID-19. So I think one of the things that maybe our attendees would want to know is that you've talked about all these programs that have been happening before the epidemic struck. So how, at this particular time when there's COVID-19 and a lot of small, medium enterprises have been affected by COVID-19, how can young people not only leverage on those particular programs, but also the hubs? The hubs have been doing a lot of work virtually. How can a person try and be part of these hubs to try and maybe get ideas or come up with systems to ensure that their businesses survive during this time, especially the hubs and the program?
Okay,
yeah.
So then I can start off this question by answering the Youth Action Hubs initiatives, how young people, of course, can join them. The beauty of this initiative is that we as UNCTAD, we invite all young people from all across the world, from every kind of background. They're all able to establish hubs in their communities. And what these youth action hubs actually mean is that, like-minded young people who are passionate about trade and development issues, but also implementing SDGs at our local level, they can get together in their cities and establish this hub and start working on projects that are going to uplift their communities. And there's really not it's not a difficult thing to establish hubs. You just need to show, motivation and dedication and, willingness to really contribute to uplifting your community. So we need, we can always start a youth action hub with one person that can bring then on others. And that's why we like working with the youth, because they always hold very innovative approaches, you know, in reaching out to people, in tackling economic and social challenges. And what we do as UNCTAD in our part is that once the hub becomes operational and starts running, we then provide a global stage to these young people, where they can share their voices, they can share their concerns, and also solutions to the problems they are seeing in their communities. So we give them an opportunity to develop a dialogue with member states and other business stakeholders, for example. So the other part of your question is, if you can remind me, is how other young people, young digital entrepreneurs can mitigate the effects of COVID?
How can they, I've been seeing like a lot of hubs have been doing a lot of initiatives to try and help their specific communities to cope with COVID-19.
Right.
So if you could maybe highlight some of the deliverables that some of the hubs have been able, some of the work that some of the hubs have been able to do.
Okay,
and,
of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so after the COVID struck, you know, since the very get-go, they have been very active in fighting the spread of fake news. For example, our youth action hubs in Malaysia and the Dominican Republic have mobilized themselves and other people from within the community to deliver necessities like food and hygiene products to nursing homes and elderly people and other groups of vulnerable people that have been practically cut off from the society in the midst of the lockdowns. And to give you a couple of examples, our youth action hub in Pakistan has started a movement to advocate for the rights to technology. And their idea is to create digital safe spaces for victims of domestic abuse and those that are suffering from mental health issues. And these people can get online and have consultations with experts free of charge, or join other support groups. And for example, we know that many of these rural populations, they don't have access to computers and or don't have mobile phones. So the Youth Action Hub in Pakistan will be partnering up with local institutions like schools and universities, which have computer labs. So these people will be able to go there and talk online with professionals in a safe environment. If we move on to another example, because we have plenty, our hub in India is, like in the other parts of the world, is counteracting the spread of fake news and conspiracy theories. So this is a major issue over there. So our youth have launched the My Pin Code initiative in partnership with a social media agency. And they have set up more than 210 Facebook groups all across the country where they provide only verified information about local districts to local citizens, meaning that people can learn which shops are open, where they can get medical necessities, but they can also follow health updates from the World Health Organizations and government agencies. And if we move to another part of the world, in Ecuador, our hub over there has partnered up with UN Women, and they're helping them collect data on how women business owners have been impacted by the crisis. And these are just 3 examples, but many of our hubs have been involved, you know, in mitigating the negative effects of COVID-19 in their communities on all fronts. And since the start of their activities, UNCTAD has been promoting their work with a social media campaign called Me for We, where we share their stories of solidarities, you know, how they help people. And also this way we bring more global attention to the meaningful work that is being done by youth across the world. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Zarja, for all the amazing initiatives by UNCTAD that you highlighted. You have highlighted Eat for Trade for Women. You've talked about the e-fellowship, the partnership that you have with Alibaba. And I hope that attendees that are with us today are going to be able to go and check out those programs so that you can be able to leverage them and see how your business can be able to benefit from those particular programs that UNCTAD is running. And also, I thank you so much for talking about all the work that the hubs around the world that are doing. Even you can even, like, whatever we're doing right now is a testament of what even the hub in Kenya is doing by building up partnerships and using existing infrastructure to help young people in businesses survive these times.